Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Inododo, the Natural Hair Gallery. How are you guys doing today? Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking and sharing. And for those that are yet to subscribe, please do subscribe to Inododo, the Natural Hair Gallery for a weekly dose of topics that regards to natural hair. Today, we're going to look at rice water versus rosemary water, which is better for your hair. Rice water versus rosemary water, which is better for your hair. Now, rice water and rosemary water have become two of the most popular natural hair treatments online. But are they really doing the same thing? In this episode, we compare their origins, properties, potential benefits, limitations, and how they may fit different hair types and routines. Most importantly, we separate traditional hair care practices from what scientific evidence actually tells us. Rice water or rosemary water. If you had to choose only one for your hair, which one would you choose? Rice water has become famous for making hair appear longer and stronger. Rosemary has become famous for supporting hair growth. You see, we're beginning to differentiate them right now. Rice water is famous for making hair appear longer and stronger. Rosemary water is famous for supporting hair growth. But here's the problem. The internet often treats them like they are competing for the same job. The internet often treats them like they are competing for the same job. They are not. They have different functions, and that's why we are here at Inododo Natural Hair Gallery to separate them so that you know the one that best suits your hair texture, your hair porosity, and also the how your hair feels generally. So today we are putting them head to head, and by the end you may discover that the question isn't actually which one is better. It's what exactly are you trying to achieve with your hair. It's not about which one is better, but what exactly are you trying to achieve with your hair. So if I'm to provide a solution to your hair needs or your hair challenges, the first and foremost is to first know what exactly it is that you want to achieve. Is it longer hair? Is it that you have scalp issues? Is it that, whatever it is that your hair needs at that particular time, then we can provide a solution. So let's look at chapter 1. What exactly is rice water? Rice water is simply water that has been used to soak or cook rice, depending on the preparation method. Rice and its derivatives contain various compounds including starches, proteins, amino acids, and other components. Now, rice-derived ingredients have been studied in cosmetic and hair applications, and a systematic review found promising evidence for certain rice-derived products. But there is an important distinction. Rice-derived extract is not automatically the same thing as homemade rice water. The scientific evidence for one shouldn't automatically be transferred to the other. Do you see that? You have rice-derived extract, and then you have rice homemade or rice water homemade. Okay, so what can rice water do? Let's look at what rice water can do. Rice water is mainly interesting as a hair conditioning treatment. Did you see that rice water is mainly interesting as a hair conditioning treatment? Depending on how it's prepared and used, it may make hair feel smoother, reduce friction, and improve manageability. That can be particularly useful for people who struggle with tangling and breakage. And here's important connection. If your hair is growing normally but constantly breaking, Improving manageability and reducing breakage can help you retain more of the length you're already producing. That's different from making the follicle suddenly grow faster. Alright, now let's look at chapter 2. Now meet rosemary. Let's talk about rosemary. Rosemary is an aromatic herb traditionally used in food, wellness, and personal care. Its leaves contain compounds with antioxidants and other biological activities, but rosemary has attracted particular attention in hair research because of studies investigating rosemary oil and hair loss. A randomized trial involving people with androgenic alopecia found increased hair counts after 6 months in both the rosemary oil and 2% minoxidil groups. Although this was one study and does not mean rosemary works for every type of hair loss. Now let's look at rosemary water and the difference between rosemary water and rosemary oil. Alright, we're going to look at the difference between rosemary water and rosemary. I have a video where I've actually differentiated that, but for emphasis sake, I would want to talk about it here because that will give us a foundation for juxtaposing rosemary water and rice water. Okay, yes. So, and here's where many online discussions become confusing. Rosemary water is not rosemary essential oil diluted in water. Okay, rosemary water is not rosemary essential oil diluted in water. They are completely different preparations. Rosemary water is an aqueous preparation made from the plant. An aqueous preparation made from the plant, while rosemary essential oil is a concentrated oil containing volatile compounds from the plant. Alright, I'll take it again. Rosemary water is an aqueous preparation made from the plant, but rosemary essential oil is a concentrated oil, more like you are extracting oil now, not with water. It's an extraction. Okay, so it's an oil is a concentrated oil containing volatile compounds from the plant. So when someone says rosemary has been studied for hair growth, we have to ask which rosemary preparation, because the evidence isn't automatically interchangeable. Okay, you see, they are doing different things. Rosemary water does different things, rosemary oil does different. So when you are talking about rosemary oil, we have to distinctively ask which one of them are you talking about. All right, so now let's look at the versus right now. Rice water versus rosemary water. Now let's look at rice water first. Think of rice water primarily as a hair conditioning and manageability tool. It may be useful when your main concerns are dry, filling hair, tangling, roughness, and difficulty retaining length because of breakage. Did you see that? It may be useful when your main concern are dry, filling hair, tangling, roughness, and difficulty retaining length because of breakage. That is rice water. So we're looking at rice water now mainly as a hair conditioning and manageability tool. Now let's look at rosemary water. Rosemary water is more naturally positioned as a scalp care treatment. A scalp care treatment. Now, people commonly use it as a scalp refresher and part of a routine focused on scalp health. But don't make the mistake of saying rosemary water grows hair because rosemary oil showed results. That's not scientifically justified. The preparation matters. Now let's quickly look at chapter 4. Which one is better for hair growth? Which one is better for hair growth? Now let's address the question everybody is waiting for. Which one grows hair better? Here is my professional answer. Here is my professional answer. We don't have enough good quality evidence to confidently declare homemade rice water or rosemary water the winner for hair growth. There is some promising research around rice-derived ingredients, and there is a clinical research on rosemary oil, not specifically homemade rosemary water. So don't confuse the ingredient with the preparation. Now, let's now look at how we use these natural ingredients with our different hair types. Let's see how we use this now, so that it now gives you an idea of what each of these ingredients, what they do, and the kind of hair types that best suits them. Okay, now let's look at low porosity hair. If your hair gets weighed down easily, rice water may feel too coating if used excessively. If your hair gets weighed down easily, rice water may feel too coating if used excessively. Rosemary water is generally the lighter option, but remember, lightweight doesn't mean you should use it every day. Now that is for low porosity hair. High porosity hair often needs careful moisture management. Rice-based treatments may make some people's hair feel stronger or more conditioned, but frequent protein-rich or strengthening treatments aren't automatically better. Pay attention to how your hair responds. That is to high porosity hair. Now let's look at fine hair. Fine hair tends to become overwhelmed easily. A lightweight water-based treatment may be preferable to heavy products. This is where rosemary water can fit comfortably into a simple routine. Now let's look at thick or coarse hair. Thicker hair may tolerate richer conditioning treatments better. If rice water makes your hair feel smoother and easier to detangle, it may have a place in your routine, but again, your response matters more than the label on the bottle. Your response matters more than the label on the bottle. Now let's look at chapter 6, the mistake people make. The biggest mistake is assuming if something is natural, I can use it every day. No, your hair doesn't need constant experimentation. Too much of any treatment can create problems. The goal isn't to continuously add things. The goal is to identify what your hair actually needs and give it that consistently. Now here is the final verdict. Here is the final verdict. So rice water or rosemary water, which one wins? Neither of them actually wins. Neither. And that's the answer I want you to remember. Rice water may be more interesting when your priority is conditioning, manageability, and length retention. I want you to get that, because here right now we are now separating their functions. So rice water may be more interesting when your priority is conditioning, manageability, and length retention. Rosemary water may fit better when you are looking for a lightweight scalp care step. A lightweight scalp care step, but neither should be marketed as a guaranteed hair growth solution. Neither should be marketed as a guaranteed hair growth solution. And if you are dealing with significant or persistent hair loss, a homemade treatment shouldn't replace proper evaluation of the underlying cause. Okay, so for example, you're using all these topical things outside and you're not getting results, that means that you need to move higher. You need to consult a professional that will now tell you what and what to do. Okay, but normally most of the time we want to first do homemade and do things ourselves naturally to see if there's something we are getting wrong. All right, so but a homemade treatment shouldn't replace normal proper evaluation of the underlying cause. So here is the final message, ladies and gentlemen. Healthy hair isn't a competition between ingredients. It's about understanding what each ingredient can and cannot do. Don't ask which product is a miracle. Ask, what does my hair need right now? That's when natural hair care stops becoming a trend and starts becoming a science. All right, that's just basically it for today, ladies and gentlemen. So the total overall view is that some of these ingredients have their various functions. So here on in the hair natural the hair natural hair gallery, we tend to differentiate them and then align them with your hair type. We align them with your, because it's one size does not fit all. I keep on saying it here on the natural. I don't believe in one size fitting all. If you have different hair types, then you should prefer a different solution for a different hair type. All right, having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, please do take care of yourself, and please also take care of your hair. Bye for now. God bless.